We in North America have a complacency. We probably don't value education as much as we should. We take it as a given, like we take clean water running out of the tap. It's a given and kids will be fine. And they will go through the system as we did, and something good will happen at the end because they'll have a career or a job or something. The kids going through our system today don't have that comfort.
To move towards 21st century learning, everybody needs to get involved. We need teachers rethinking their model of pedagogy. We need administrators who have the courage to understand that we need to break through to a new model. We need government policymakers and legislators who will step up to this challenge. Parents need to get involved. And if we engage the students, actually they'll be the most powerful force for change.
We have had this notion of success that is guided by achievement scores. And actually that is only one component of individual success.
Teachers are keen to find out more. They're really grappling with the problem of student disengagement, and student disengagement is leading to their own disengagement. So they're trying to find some ways to retrieve some of the energy and passion that they felt when they began in the profession.
We need to teach each child the way he or she learns.
Primarily it's about making kids as creative as they can possibly be.
It's your capacity to think and to solve problems and put things in context and to learn lifelong, because you'll need to reinvent your knowledge base multiple times.
Creating a 21st century learning environment for an entire district is certainly a challenge, and it has to be viewed as a process and not an end goal.
In order to make some of the changes that are required, it's going to take courageous leadership.
You simply can't say, "Thou shalt do this," and it will be done. You know, that's the easy thing for governments or others to do, is say, well, we're just going to tell everybody they're going to do this. That we actually have to give teachers time to work together, to make sense of it on their own.
At the end of the day, the people in your system are going to drive the agenda if they believe in the plan, and if they're part of designing the plan, then they'll be more likely to believe in it and make it happen.
And it's a challenge, because we're venturing into new territory. And some of that new territory causes people to have pause, because it sounds like we're stepping away from responsibility and accountability. I think the accountability will be higher.
At their fingertips or in their pockets, students have the most powerful tool for learning ever. And they have access to all kinds of knowledge, and not just recorded knowledge, but the knowledge and intelligence contained in the crania of other people. And what do? Rather than embracing this, we resist it. We take away their tools.
Children are already in touch with other children around the world, okay? And now what we need to do as educators is harness that, not in a way of limiting it, but actually helping them develop a better focus.
And teachers, just like any other learner, we need to start where they are. We need to start where that individual teacher is in terms of their readiness, and move them along to the next step by letting them build on current successes.
Teachers are required now to understand much more about how content is created and how content is used.
It does create some challenges. It shifts some roles. You know, as students have greater ownership over their learning, there's a power change in a classroom.
And this interesting shift happens. You know, the teacher and the student become learners together, not only on the content, but on the tools that are being used to deliver the content.
It's tough to do in an isolated classroom environment. So one of the things that I'm noticing that's really different now is the number of teachers who are involved in social media as a form of professional learning.
This is just a golden opportunity to be an educator. I can network with peers, I can get instantaneous help and support for problems I might be experiencing in the classroom.
This is not an information age that we're entering into. It's an age of networked intelligence. And the schools need to understand that and embrace these powerful new concepts of networking to transform themselves for relevance and for effectiveness.
It's about being about now, and that concern that our schools are connected to a different time. And so when people say we want 21st century learning, I think they say we want schools that have relevance to the world that's existing right now.
We need to think about whether we need a grading system, We need to think about whether or not school is about bricks and mortar. We need to think about how we relate to our community and what they can provide.
The walls of the classroom are beginning to break down, and that when students come to class, they're in class, but they're also somewhere else. And so that notion of where students are at any one time is beginning to change.
We need to create some flexibility and to more and more say it's okay, that school isn't just a 9 to 3 activity, that school calendars might not just look from September to June, that we create a messiness in the system, which is uncomfortable, but is necessary. That's what we need, that kind of messiness right now in our system.
When we do find a promising practice, we need to really understand how we operationalize that practice. How do we take that initial innovative practice and move that forward in a way that allows it to be more than, that was a good idea, let's move on to something else.
Then from school to school, sharing best practices, celebrating excellence, not worrying about not doing something because you can only afford one. Let's start with one. We have to start somewhere. So we will start with one, then we'll find ways to make it sustainable.
And teachers have the most powerful force ever for transforming the schools, and that's the students. Engage the students in the process, and your little island of a classroom can become an exemplar and a pilot and a model for the rest of the school. You change a single classroom, you change the world.